Hello ladies and gentlemen, Porkchop here, and today I am making a quick video about top 5 ways to level up fast in PvE, or just some general tips and tricks for it. I've played the open and closed beta, so I have a pretty good idea after putting 25 hours into the game so far. Of course, this will probably change as the highest level in the game is level 30, and we were only able to get up to level 8, and of course some of this may not have context, but I'll definitely make an update video once the game has launched on March the 8th. Anyway guys, here is the video. Number 5 on the list is to replay missions, especially in the closed beta, when it was actually pretty grindy to get to level 8 due to there not being that extra mission to give you all the extra XP. You had to do all the side missions and random encounters etc. to get enough XP to be level 8 so you could buy the best gear in the Dark Zone. The best way to really do this is to replay the first mission in the Madison Garden. Now this, basically, if you play it on hard mode, they all turn to level 8 and it gives you a pretty good amount of XP once you beat it. Of course, you don't actually get XP anymore, you get credits and general gear still, but you don't actually get XP from completing it again. But the enemies themselves give enough XP for it to be worthy of you using it to level up higher. Of course, when the main game comes out, this may not be as much of a problem, as of course there will be a lot more main missions once the game has come out. But this still could be a very viable option to get some good loot over a period of time, or just to generally upgrade enough if you want to quickly grab a weapon and get higher level before you take on another challenging mission. Another one which is quite obvious is Pele in teams. And I think pretty much most random encounters etc. do give you actually more experience for playing in teams. I think this also happens for the Dark Zone as well, maybe? I'm not sure about the Dark Zone. But you do get a nice little XP buff if you do play in teams. Of course, if you are a solo player, this may be tricky, but you can matchmake with people with the missions, and in the hub as well, where random agents will spawn. You can of course join them and roam around, and it will be easy to find people, and then just do general missions with them to get extra XP and make a few new friends on the sideline and help you in the Dark Zone later on. Number 3 on the list is adapting to your situation. This mostly means fast travelling as much as possible to the base of operations, but the main one being with your skill trees. Of course, we don't know how much in depth or customizing it will be because it was only the beta, but from what I've already experienced is that having a lot of variety in your classes with you and your teammates is worth it. And I think when the end game comes about, there needs to be a lot more variety and a lot more skill factor in that aspect rather than just gunplay involved, which I like. I want a lot more tactical play, especially as the end game gets on, as the PvP side doesn't really have as much tactical play, and that's what I do enjoy in this game a lot. So generally varying and seeing what skills you really like, because you can really customize it well in PvE, while in the Dark Zone there's only certain things that are very useful and stuff is just completely useless. So I would definitely suggest researching it as much as possible, seeing what your teammates are running and trying to fit the best class for you and have great combinations. A quick example would be if your teammate is down, throwing one of the turrets down to be a distraction, or you get your teammate up and get ready to join the fight again. Number 2 on the list is literally doing everything. Side missions, collectibles, random encounters, do it all. It gives you a lot of nice tech points, medical points and security points, which of course go into your base of operations to upgrade your general skill trees, general XP, credits, you name it. It just genuinely gives you a massive buff and makes you a higher level, and gear is so droppable in this game that it's worth it. You know, how many times I've done a random mission, seen a random chest, or a random guy just drops a blue weapon, and like, that's the reason I want to do these missions. You know, it makes you want to do them, and I would definitely suggest doing them rather than just sitting down doing the main missions to get to level 30. I think this game has a lot more to experience than just grinding to the end game as quick as possible, and I think that's definitely going to be exciting once the game comes out. Number 1 on the list, and I think the most important, even though this is in no particular order, is to gear up loot wise before exploring other places and going into the Dark Zone. To give you a general idea, in the closed beta it took a grind to go to level 8, and that means I was generally able to gear up to around my gear to be around level 7-ish stuff before I really hit Dark Zone properly. However, in the open beta I got to level 8 a lot quicker and only really had level 5 gear while doing all the side missions and general little activities around the side. And I can see this being not as, I think it could be a problem once, not a problem but a tricky place for players to be, is if they just go heads down and do the main story missions, they're going to get hard very quickly. Even after trying the second story mission, I struggled due to the fact that I was just a teeny bit low leveled, even though I've done the main missions, done a few extra stuff, because gear wise I just wasn't there yet. And I guess generally selling your weapons and even going at a lot lower level into the Dark Zone, getting a load of gear, selling it as much as possible and getting that higher gear from vendors from the hub or from your base of operations could help in the long run massively, as the last thing you want is to go into the Dark Zone and be the same level as someone but you are clearly under leveled. And yeah, I guess in the Dark Zone as well, even though this is a PvE thing, in the Dark Zone I went in as a level 8 but with level 5 gear, and of course the AIs were level 8 or 9 and it was a sheer bullet sponge grind to kill them. Is just because I wasn't leveled up. Even though I was level 8, my gear was clearly not set at that. So just farming as much as possible, exploring as much, doing as much, again as much loot as you can in PvE activities early on will help you later on, and making missions or going into the Dark Zone more enjoyable and less challenging and ridiculous. Anyway guys, this is just my top 5 help for PvE, how to level up fast, and done general tips and tricks. Once the game comes out I'll probably do another updated one once we can get to level 30, and there's a lot more to this game, and especially the end game content of how that really changes this up, and all the skill trees and how all the skills will change and everything. Anyway, I don't want this to be too much of a long video guys, so this is Pork Chopper signing off.